everyone. So, Book 8, Chapter 2 just dropped, and we finally get to meet our first, I mean, really not first, but you know what I mean, Royal Sword Academy boys. We also caught glimpses of their statues, and while most of them make sense, the others are interesting. So, let's get to it.
So first we have Prince Riel, and I was sort of right about his aesthetic. They did give the Marina Finn uniform a swashbuckling motif. And yes, he does in fact have a dinglehopper in his hair, and my word processor is absolutely hating this script right now, but overall, I'm not mad at this design. Mina Jail, though, if I'm saying that correctly, is a different story because this design is fire. Like, I thought that braid was his hair, but it could also be a bandana, and I am loving it. I'm liking this character more than I thought I would. It's also revealed that he is a relative of Kaleem, so I was also right about that. He also is very apathetic to Jamil, which is very on brand to the actual relationship between Jafar and Jasmine in the movie. Also, given Jamil used mind control to get Kaleem kicked out of Night Raven College, so I really don't blame him. So now let's move on to the Royal Sword Academy statues that basically reveal what characters are being twisted from and the dorm inspirations. I think the actual names of the dorms are floating around, but I like to see their emblems before making anything official. So, first is the statue of Alice. And I will also guess what they are celebrated for when I talk about these. So, I would think Alice would be known for her curiosity, but I imagine the Hartzell gang might see her more of a trespasser or a game disruptor. Next is the first of one of the interesting choices I was talking about. So it's obvious they were going with an all female cast, but Nala is once again interesting. I think she would be celebrated for finding help, I suppose. I don't really know how they will spin this. Simba would have been the obvious choice because he was raised by a warthog meerkat, then took his rightful place as king. But you can imagine the conflict because he had to kill Scar, the patron great one of Savannah Claw. So I can kind of see why they went with this direction. But we'll just see how they spin this. Ariel is an obvious choice for the statue, but what is she celebrated for? My guess is unity. Now, I'm always defending the princesses, and let me tell you, she did not give up her voice for a man. She always wanted to be with the humans. And she was probably perceived to unite the land and sea with the whole marrying the prince. So, yeah, I would guess unity for Ariel. So, another interesting choice was Jasmine. But given my explanation with Nala, with Aladdin defeating the patron great one of Scarabia, Jafar, another problematic situation avoided, though less because Jafar really isn't dead, but whatever. I think her celebrated trait is change. She was steadfast against a terrible law that stated that she must marry a prince by a certain age, which makes me wonder what the punishment were to be, I mean. She was a princess, but okay. But anyway, she decided to marry for love and have the law changed. So I would think that might be the route they go. Now, what side note, this I could be wrong about everything, so please don't take my word for gospel. I'm defending this girl a lot. Snow White is another obvious choice. How is she celebrated? Well, it could go a couple of ways. I found that Snow White isn't exactly weak. I mean, she found out her stepmother wanted her dead for being prettier and ran into the forest, scaring herself, but eventually pulled herself together and went to find shelter. I mean, there's more to it than that, but that's not the point of this video. She could also be celebrated for earning her keep. She didn't use the princess card to get what she wanted, or to get room and board, so she struck a deal with the dwarves to cook and clean while she has shelter and protection from the queen. So we'll just have to see how they spin that. So here is the last of the interesting choices, which is Meg. So I would have gone with Hercules personally, but let's just roll with it. Her celebrated trait could be her switching sides, but having a hard time because she was in servitude to Hades and everything. But another thing is she also sacrificed herself for Hercules. So if there's any trait, I would go with that. But we'll just have to see. And the one that's probably the most unique is Aurora, because we already got a twisted version of Aurora, and that is Silver's father, the Dawn Knight. And also, the character associated with the dorm is going to be the Good Fairy. So, the dorm inspiration or the dorm patron Great One doesn't really match the House Warden in this one. But if I could guess of what she would be celebrated, she would be celebrated for her adaptability. She grew up with 3 women in the forest thinking she was just a peasant, and literally in the course of 5 minutes, she finds out her entire life was a lie, including her very name. But she stepped into her role as princess and realized what she did. She has to do what she has to do. But that's really all I have right now. What do you all think? Let me know in the comments below, and I will see you for April's monthly update video. Toodles!